Since childhood, most of us are raised to believe something simple and comforting about friendships. We're told that friends are forever, that real friends always support you, that the people who laugh with you today will stand beside you no matter what happens tomorrow. Movies, school memories, and social media all repeat the same message. Friendship is permanent, but real life slowly teaches something very different. As the years pass, situations change. People move away, priorities shift, responsibilities grow, and personalities evolve. And somewhere along the way, you begin to notice something uncomfortable. Some friends only call when they need something. Some disappear when life gets hard for you. Others are around only when things are fun, easy, or beneficial for them. And then comes the realization most people experience quietly. Many friendships aren't built on loyalty. They're built on convenience. People stay while you're useful, entertaining, emotionally available, or part of their daily routine. But once your circumstances change, or once you stop playing the role they're comfortable with, the connection weakens. Maybe you become busier chasing your goals. Maybe you stop going out as much. Maybe you start focusing on your health, career, or mental peace. And suddenly people who once felt close begin drifting away. Not always because they're bad people, but because the connection was never as deep as you thought. A lot of friendships exist because of proximity. School, college, workplace, neighborhood, or shared situations. Remove that environment, and the bond often fades on its own. This realization hurts at first. You wonder what went wrong. You question whether you changed too much or whether you did something wrong. But the truth is simpler. Life moves people in different directions, and many relationships are temporary, even when they feel permanent in the moment. We also tend to confuse familiarity with loyalty. Just because someone has been around for years doesn't it automatically mean they truly care about your growth or well-being. Sometimes people stay because it's comfortable, not because the connection is strong. And when comfort disappears, so do they. The painful lesson adulthood teaches is that not everyone walking beside you is walking with you. Some are just sharing the same road for a short time. Understanding this doesn't mean becoming cold or distrusting everyone. It simply means learning not to expect lifelong loyalty from every person who enters your life. Some friends are meant for certain phases: childhood, college, early struggles, or specific life chapters. And once that chapter ends, so does the connection. That's not always betrayal, sometimes it's just reality. The sooner you understand this, the less personal you take these changes. Instead of clinging to people who are naturally drifting away, you begin focusing on those who genuinely value your presence. Because real friendships don't depend on convenience. They survive distance, success, failure, silence, and change. And those rare connections are the ones truly worth keeping. People like you at your level, not above it. There is a psychological truth that many people discover only after experiencing success or personal growth. Most people support you, as long as you stay at their level. The moment you start improving your life, things begin to change in subtle ways. At first, you may not even notice it. Conversations feel slightly different. Energy shifts. The enthusiasm some friends once had around you slowly fades. When everyone around you is struggling together, there is comfort and equality. No one feels left behind. No one feels threatened. Everyone shares the same complaints, the same routines, the same limitations. But growth breaks that balance. When you start earning more money, improving your lifestyle, becoming more confident, or gaining attention for your achievements, something unexpected happens. Some friends begin feeling uncomfortable around you, not because they hate you, but because your progress forces them to compare their life with yours. Your improvement reminds them of goals they postponed or efforts they never made, and comparison creates insecurity. Instead of feeling inspired, some people feel left behind, and rather than admitting this feeling, they react differently. They might joke about your goals. They might say you've changed. They might downplay your success or act uninterested when you share good news. Sometimes they become distant. Sometimes they subtly compete with you. And sometimes they quietly hope you fail so things can return to how they used to be. This reaction isn't always intentional. Human psychology naturally compares status, success, and progress within social groups. When one person moves ahead, others feel pressure, whether they admit it or not. That pressure can slowly damage friendships. You may notice friends who once celebrated your small wins suddenly becoming silent about bigger achievements. Conversations become less frequent. Invitations become fewer. Support feels weaker. And this realization hurts because these are people you once trusted. But growth changes social dynamics. The truth is, Many people prefer relationships where everyone stays equal. Once someone starts rising, the balance breaks, and discomfort replaces connection. This is why personal development often feels lonely. As you change habits, mindset, and goals, fewer people relate to you the same way. The shared struggles that once connected you disappear, and with them, some friendships fade. It's important to understand that this doesn't make you arrogant or selfish. Improving your life is natural and necessary. But not everyone around you is ready to grow at the same pace. Some will feel inspired and grow with you. Others will quietly fall away because your progress challenges their comfort zone. And one of the hardest lessons in adulthood is realizing that sometimes outgrowing people is part of growing yourself. Not everyone meant to walk with you in the beginning is meant to walk with you to the end. And learning to accept that is part of becoming stronger. Friends enjoy your struggles more than your success. This may sound harsh, but observe carefully and you'll start noticing a strange pattern in human behavior. When you are struggling, people feel more comfortable around you. When you're broke, confused, heartbroken, or unsure about your future, friends gather around you easily. They listen, they advise, they console you. Conversations flow naturally because everyone can relate to struggle. Struggle is common. Almost everyone understands pain, failure, and disappointment. So when you're going through a tough time, people feel emotionally equal to you. No one feels threatened, but things change when your life starts improving. When you start making progress, gaining confidence, achieving goals, or building a better lifestyle, reactions around you shift. Suddenly, some people become less enthusiastic. They listen less carefully to your success stories. They change topics quickly when you share good news. Sometimes they even joke about your achievements to make them seem smaller. Why does this happen? Because success creates comparison. Your growth forces others to look at their own lives. And if they feel stuck while you're moving forward, discomfort appears. Instead of admitting they feel left behind, some people unconsciously try to pull you back into the familiar space where everyone struggled together. They may say things like, "You've changed. You think you're better now? Don't forget where you came from." But often what they really mean is, "Your progress makes me uncomfortable." This doesn't mean all friends secretly want you to fail. True friends celebrate your wins genuinely. They feel proud, not threatened. But many people feel closer to you when you're struggling than when you're succeeding. Struggle keeps everyone equal. Success changes positions. Another uncomfortable truth is that some people enjoy being the helper, the advisor, or the stronger one in the friendship. When you begin solving your own problems and becoming independent, their role disappears. And without realizing it, they may feel less important in your life. So they prefer the version of you that needed help, not the version that stands strong on their own. That's why sometimes people are more supportive during your worst moments than your best ones. Success exposes hidden emotions, jealousy, insecurity, competition, that struggle keeps hidden. And this realization hurts, because you expect friends to celebrate your growth the same way they supported your pain. But adulthood teaches something difficult. Not everyone who comforts you in hard times will celebrate you in good times. And recognizing this difference helps you understand who truly belongs in your circle and who was only comfortable when you were struggling beside them. Most friendships are transactional. This is one of the hardest truths to accept about human relationships. Most friendships are not purely emotional bonds. They are built, often unconsciously, on exchange. Not always money or favors, but value. People stay connected when they gain something from the relationship. It might be support, entertainment, connections, comfort, advice, validation, or simply someone to pass time with. At first, this sounds cold. We like to believe friendships are unconditional, but human psychology doesn't always work that way. Think about how most friendships start. School friends exist because you see each other every day. Work friends form because you share the same office. Gym friends connect because of shared routines. Online friendships grow around common interests or activities. In many cases, the environment creates the bond. But what happens when the environment changes? Someone changes jobs, someone moves cities, someone gets married, someone becomes too busy, someone shifts priorities, and slowly communication decreases. Not necessarily because of conflict, but because the shared benefit or routine disappears. Without that common ground, the connection fades, and this realization surprises many people. They thought the friendship was deeper, but in reality, it was tied to circumstances. Another example is emotional support. Some friendships exist because one person constantly provides emotional comfort. They listen, they help, they solve problems. But when that person becomes busy or emotionally unavailable, The other person may drift away because their need is no longer fulfilled. Similarly, some people keep friends because of social status, networking opportunities, or access to certain circles. Once those advantages disappear, so does the interest. This doesn't always mean people are manipulative. Often it's subconscious. Humans naturally gravitate toward relationships that offer comfort, benefit, or ease. The problem arises when only one person is giving while the other is always taking. Over time, this imbalance creates exhaustion. You start feeling used instead of valued. You notice people contacting you only when they need help, money, advice, or company during their lonely moments. But when you need support, they are suddenly unavailable. And eventually, you understand something important. A real friendship isn't about constant exchange. It's about mutual presence even when there's nothing to gain. True friends stay even when you have nothing to offer except your company. But those friendships are rare. Most connections survive as long as both sides feel they are gaining something. Once the benefit ends, so does the effort. Understanding this truth helps you stop chasing people who only appear when they need something. Instead, you begin valuing those who stay when there's no advantage involved. Because genuine friendships are built on respect and loyalty, not transactions. And learning to see the difference protects your time, energy, and emotional peace. One of the most dangerous things in adult friendships is not open enemies. It's fake supporters. An enemy shows their intentions clearly. You know where you stand with them. You stay cautious. You protect yourself. But fake supporters are different. They smile with you, laugh with you, congratulate you, act happy for your progress. Yet behind your back, they question your success, minimize your achievements, or quietly wait for your mistakes. And because their behavior looks friendly on the surface, you rarely notice the warning signs early. These people will say, "I'm proud of you," but their tone lacks real excitement. Their encouragement feels forced. Their support disappears when you truly need help. Sometimes they subtly compete with you without admitting it. Every conversation turns into comparison. Every success story you share is met with their own bigger story. If you buy something new, they mention something better they plan to buy. If you achieve something, they quickly talk about their own progress. Instead of celebrating together, the friendship becomes a silent competition. Another common sign is disguised discouragement. They might say things like, "Are you sure this goal is realistic? Don't take big risks. Maybe you should stay safe." It sounds like advice, but sometimes it's fear disguised as concern. Your ambition reminds them of risks they never took. Some friends also enjoy hearing about your failures more than your victories. Notice how quickly conversations become energetic when you talk about problems, but go quiet when you discuss success. Human jealousy is often subtle. People don't wake up wanting to hate their friends. But comparison, insecurity, and fear slowly create hidden resentment. And instead of confronting those emotions, many people hide them behind politeness. The painful truth is that fake support often hurts more than open criticism. Because you trust these people, you expect honesty from them. And when you later realize they were never truly on your side, the betrayal feels deeper. This doesn't mean you should suspect everyone around you, but it does mean you should pay attention to patterns. Real friends celebrate your wins without competing. They encourage your growth without fear. They speak honestly instead of pretending. Because genuine support feels natural, not forced. As you grow older, one lesson becomes clear. It is better to have a few people who truly support you than many who secretly hope you stay where you are. And learning to recognize the difference protects your confidence, your energy, and your future. One of the biggest shocks in life happens quietly. No fight, no argument, no betrayal, just distance. Friendships that once felt unbreakable slowly fade as adulthood begins. In school and college, friendships feel permanent because life is simple. Everyone shares the same routine, the same environment, and similar responsibilities. You see each other daily. You spend hours together. Conversations happen naturally. Plans are spontaneous. Time feels unlimited. But adulthood changes everything. Suddenly, people are chasing careers, money, relationships, stability, and survival. Responsibilities increase. Stress increases. Time becomes limited. Now schedules don't match anymore. One friend works late shifts. Another moves to a new city. Someone gets married. Someone becomes focused on business. Someone struggles financially. Someone becomes a parent. And without any drama, conversations become shorter. Meetings become rare. Messages get delayed. Plans get canceled. Not always because people stop caring, but because priorities change. Life pulls everyone in different directions. At first, you try to maintain every friendship. You make calls, plan meetups, send messages. But slowly you notice you're the only one making the effort. And that realization hurts. You start wondering, did I do something wrong? But often nothing went wrong. The truth is, many friendships belong to specific phases of life. School friends belong to school memories. College friends belong to campus life. Workplace friends belong to professional environments. Once those chapters end, the connections naturally weaken. And that's difficult to accept because we expect some people to stay forever. But adulthood teaches a lesson no one prepares us for. Not everyone who starts the journey with you is meant to finish it with you. Some people are temporary companions in temporary situations, and that doesn't make those friendships fake. They were real for that period of life. They served their purpose, but people grow, change, and evolve. Sometimes you outgrow certain circles. Sometimes others outgrow you. Sometimes goals and lifestyles simply stop matching, and forcing old friendships to survive new realities often creates frustration. The mature realization is understanding that letting some friendships fade is part of growing up. You begin focusing on quality instead of quantity. You appreciate the few people who still check in, who still care despite busy lives. Because in adulthood, maintaining friendships requires intention, effort, and mutual respect. And those who still make space for you in their changing lives become the ones truly worth keeping.